Oh, there we go. Shoo. Look at me. All right. Gunner Hookah here, baby. Little late trying to figure the StreamYard jammy out. This is showing up different from every other platform I've done these couple of lives. But this one's going to be a good one. This is Gunner Hookah here. You see the guns behind me. And of course, you already know the hookah. Now I got this joint right. StreamYard, a little funny. Shout out to Carbon Q for showing me love on how to do this jam to get it right. My guest should be here shortly. This is going to be a really good conversation, y'all. Give me a thumbs up. What's going on, Del Rey? What's going on, Seb 2J the Shooter? R. Scott, what's happening? Coy, Fat Guy. I got you with one of my moderators, dog. Yo, if you see trolls, check them mad quick because I don't feel like going over nobody here right now. We about to have a good time. Yeah, Coy, yeah, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. This is wait on my guy. Told me he could be a little bit because he just got out of class. You know, got to get the education on and stuff like that. Got to keep learning. So I'm letting him come through. Slick back, what's happening? Love it, man. It's going to be a good joint right here. I'm looking mad forward to it. Just waiting on my guests to get here. You know, it's going to be a good one. But I've been waiting to do this. And I got to say, shout out to Jay the Shooter. Jay the Shooter been telling me about 3 years to do this joint. Right? He been telling me about 3 years to get your butt on YouTube, and let people know what's up because I've seen what you've been doing. I love it. And he's been telling me this for years, man. You know? So shout out to him for actually motivating me enough to get on this bad boy. L, without further ado, my guest is here. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up with you, man? How you been?
Man, been all right, brother. You know, they've been waiting for this one because they got a little teaser on Instagram. But now we here on the big leagues trying to roll with these big cats out here. All right. I'm going to give you a quick introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this brother right here, he's going to tell you definitely more in detail, but this brother right here is a good one. He is the catch-all FFL. He's a Type 10, Type 11 FFL. That's the big stuff. Destructive devices, import and destructive devices, manufacturing, covers everything else that's below that. He's an FEL, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's the Federal's explosive license. Yes. And then ITAR, which deals with the international trades and stuff like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Santee, what's happening? Jay Smith, what's good with you? Cool. This brother right here, like I said, is the catch-all. He may not know the difference between a Glock 4, Gen 4, and a Glock Gen 5.
Not a damn.
But this brother here knows about daggone C4,
yes,
grenades,
yes,
Bradleys.
Yes.
If you want the big stuff, this is the guy to talk to right here. All right. But your bread has got to be right. And your justification's got to be on point because he ain't the type of brother you go to for some nickel and dime stuff. You got to be on your game. But without further ado, let me introduce you to Precision Strike 313. Shout out to you, brother. What's good with you?
Thanks, man. Yeah, like you said, Precision Strike 313 is the company's name. It's Precision Strike Mission System. 313 is just, we're in the city of Detroit. We're actually in the city of Detroit,
right.
Not any of the suburbs. My name is Robert Gilmore, and as you can see, kind of in the background, I'm right now I'm at my school because my class kind of ran late, so that's what we're here for. How you doing? Thank you.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so class ran a little late, so I didn't want to be late for the interview. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for that. But yeah, like you said, yes, I am a Type 10 and 11 FFL. I do have the FEL explosive license as well. And I have to correct myself in saying this because I always say it and then other people repeat it. I'm not ITAR certified. I am an ITAR compliance company.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will always say, are you ITAR certified? And there's no such thing as an ITAR certification. Okay. It's basically you pay $2,500 to follow the compliancy rules of DOD plus Department of Transportation, the Congress, Senate Armed Service Committee and stuff like that. So that's what that is. So when you do say, can I sell a tank? The Type 10 and 11 kind of does cover that. honestly. The FEL kind of covers, like the RDX, any of the polymer type plastic explosives, dynamite, anything like that. But the ITAR is how you actually get government contracts to work for like SBIR, which is part of the Navy's contracting. And then that's how you also have your contracting for like the Army and the Coast Guard, Marines, anybody else that would like any high powered weapon that is wielded on the battlefield. The first thing they're going to ask you, are you ITAR compliance? And that just means, are you going to sell secrets to somebody else, or are we going to be, you're going to be up and actually destroy documentation after it's used?
Facts. That's good stuff right there. Before we go any further, let me shout out some people out there. House of Siege, what's happening? Santee, Mark Thompson. We got some cats. CR42. We got some cats up here. Some of these cats right here, and I got to shout out to RGG because he lets me on to his joint. So RGG, if you saw that joint, hit that joint, man. He lets me co-host on his joint. So I'd be remiss not to return the favor. And let y'all know, this is Precision Strike. This is the brother. I've never seen a Type 10. Now, there's a good question here while I'm waiting on my co-host. He's my co-host this time. It's crazy, right?
For sure.
How many black people have these type of FFLs? I know a few that got Type 7s, O2 SOT. How many have like the destructive device FFLs?
I could not tell you off the top of my head. In the state of Michigan, there's only, if I remember correctly, when I looked, I think there's only maybe 100 of us that are D&D. And that's not saying that it's just the Type 10 and 11, because the 9 is a destructive device dealer. That's just a dealer in destructive devices and small arms. Okay. I know in the United States right now, there's 2,573, including myself, D&Ds. So I could not tell you just like how many are black off the top. That's something that you can find out. You could actually go to the ATF and actually ask for a demographic of your FFL types, and they'll break it down by, the race, and then which race might have more of the Type 10, 11, or 9s. But me off top of head, I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head, because I think I only know one D&D in the state of Michigan, and he wants to quit. So
you'll be that guy if he does.
If he does, like I said, I don't know. I just know he's the only one that I've met. And he was just like, I'm getting kind of tired, about to go to Arizona and just live out in the desert. So it could be more besides the weapons companies, but I wouldn't be able to tell you like just straight off rip.
Got you. Well, we already got questions off the rip. House of Siege comes with, how difficult is it to get, and why should someone go through the process to obtain that specific? So pretty much, this is a good question. I was going to ask these questions, so you kind of jumped the gun there, House of Siege. With the Type 10 and Type 11, you can correct me if I'm wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Just for the destruct, because you have about 9 different FFLs. You got the Type 1, which is dealer, Type 2, pawnbroker, Type 3, which is, because Type 1 and Type 2, I think, are $200, right?
Yeah, Type 1 is $350. Type 2 is the $250. Type 3 is the curator. So usually
$30.
Unfortunately, it's dark outside, as you can see, but the museum is next door. So that would be the curators. They would buy that. Anything that's 40 years old, 40 plus years older would be a curator. That's only $30. Then you're getting into the 6 and 7, where 6 is just the manufacturer for ammunition. They only manufacture ammunition. They cannot sell you any firearms. They are only specifically allowed to manufacture ammunition and sell ammunition. It's the 7 that is allowed to manufacture weapons, basically. And that's where you're starting to get into your catch-all FFLs. You'll also get into Type 8, which is, what is that? The importer
of firearms.
Of firearm. That's where you start getting into that. So if you got an 8, it'll catch everything for everything above. The 9 is now the destructive device, which catches everything except importing. So everything that 8 on up does, it'll catch that. And then you start getting into the 10 and 11. So why would you get those specifically? So it just depends on how you want to do stuff. And honestly, I kind of fell into the 10 and 11 by accident. It was the ATF that told me to get it. And they were just like
real?
On some real shit. Because there's a number. You can just call them anytime, any day you want to. Just call them from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they will tell you everything that you need to know. They will help you fill out the license so it doesn't get rejected. When I called them, I was like, hey, I'm not really too sure which license I want. And he was like, okay, well, explain what you want to do. I was like, gunsmithing. And there's a huge difference from manufacturing and gunsmithing. But he was like, what do you want to do? You want to smith it or do you want to manufacture it? I was like, well, make it from scratch. He was like, okay, well, look, if you got the money, I would just say get the type 10 because that covers everything. And then if you want to import shit, you get the type 11 and that covers everything for both ends. So it catches everything. You got the SOT 1 and you got SOT 3. He's like that. I'm sorry, 2. He's like, that'll cover everything. And you won't have to worry about talking about, hey, do I need to get this? Do I need to re-up on that? And you don't have to do anything else. So that's how I fell into it. Now, in saying that, it was a good thing that I did fall into it because, like when we spoke the last time, I was telling you that my daughter has that GM6 Lynx.
Yeah.
If I was just a regular dealer.
Real quick. So
yes.
I'm going to stop you right there. RCG, give me a second. I'm going to get you as a mod in a minute. Now, I told this story. I said, this brother brought his daughter, and your daughter's 6 or 8? 6.
Yeah.
I said, you brought your daughter, and I did say 6, a GM6 Lynx, a Cero GM6 Lynx, 50 BMG, and everybody thought I was bullshitting. Oh, no, he bought it for himself.
I tried to buy it for myself, and that was the out that I gave her mother. I was like, oh, it's a 22, and it's just something that she can learn how to play with. And funny enough, the child got down in the prone position, and I'm like, okay, this is what you do. Just follow what daddy does. And I didn't think she was paying attention because my daughter does have, she's a little hyper. Nice. So I'm like, okay, she's not paying attention. She got behind there and hit a very nice grouping. And I was like, well, damn, now I can't take it back from her because she knows how to do this.
Wait, she grouped.
It's actually an interesting group. It wasn't too big. It's not like, tight like this, but it's, hand size. I'm like, that is not horrible at all. And I don't know where you got that from. I'm assuming your grandfather, because my father is a ranger. So I'm assuming that you were out there hanging out with him when I'm not paying attention. So
right.
Not really too sure who taught you how to shoot because it's my first time, but my father is known for teaching everybody, hey, let me show you how to shoot real quick. Let's go out to the range. Wow. What's the kids doing? Let me take the kids out to shoot. So she was comfortable with it. The only thing she does not like about it is, of course, the back blast, the sound. She kind of, it's a 50 cal, so she doesn't like that big of a noise that much. Right. But handguns, she's fine with. Rifles, she's fine with. She's been around it a lot. So yes, no, she does have a GM6 Lynx. That is, I guess it's hers at this point. I can't take it back.
There, see, because you would have her. She'd be mad at you if you took.
She would have a fit. So I'm
look at that.
It's hers right now. So right now it's hers that daddy borrows every weekend.
So you see that? You heard that straight on here. The GM6 Lynx 50 BMG belongs to a 6-year-old girl.
Yes.
So I'm just letting y'all know out there, if you see a 6-year-old girl get in the prone position, shooting a 50 BMG, and the only thing that bothers her a little bit is the noise, but let you try to take that gun from her, she's going to have a fit.
She is.
That is a gun family right there. You see what I'm saying? That, look, most little girls want like Barbie dolls and stuff. She got a Lynx 50 BMG. Yeah, exactly, Jay. I needed you facts on that one, Jay. Definitely right there. Need to shoot that. Definitely need to shoot.
Definitely. It's not the only 50 cal in the house. It is not. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure when we last talked, you saw boxes in the background. I'm in the process of moving. So the 50 cals are actually, mine is in a safe right now
Okay.
with my father, but I do have a Barrett, and then the GMC Lynx is hers. That stays in the safe as well.
Nice. So here's a joint right here, right? This guy I was telling you about, Jay the Shooter.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of Barretts, right? Jay the Shooter has grown significantly in this game, right? He's gotten very large, right? Seeing him grow from the beginning. And he's the one that actually talked me into going live on YouTube because he used to watch me do this stuff. And he told me to go live. And this one he was just to come start. Appreciate it, Baltimore James. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all come through. I'm going to do shout outs towards the end. If I miss y'all, I apologize. I saw you on that Black Poindexter, Roger Stewart. I see you on there. So if I miss you, I'm sorry. But I'll definitely catch you on the back end of this joint. So Jay the Shooter, we had an event. It was in Maryland for this brother named Mark Chopper. It was his birthday. So he does like this community event. It's pretty much a giant cookout and bring your guns, right? Mm-hmm. They have, really good stuff. People educating and, trying to get their licenses and their qualification permits and all that stuff, be able to purchase regulated firearms and actually be able to conceal, be able to apply for their concealed carry, right? So they had that going on. A lot of people talking, well, Jay the Shooter, being the star that he is, he set it off, right? He brought the Barrett M107 and he shoots the first shot and basically knocks the crap out of the steel target. It hits it, drops it on the ground, right? And everybody's like, oh. So Jay, he's like, hey, man, I'm the star on this piece. I'm going to set it off. So he starts bag dumping the 50 BMG. And there it is right there. So I just had to bring that up real quick. Shout out to my boy, Jay the Shooter. I'm definitely going to get y'all two together because he's a very business-minded person. And he's a 0702 SOT.
Okay, perfect.
So his product he's doing, his AR that he's come out with is called the Sev 2, which is a play on Type 7 FFL 02 SOT, right? He and his partners got together. Shout out to Red Phoenix. And now they're doing their thing. So he'd be a good person to really talk to and really collaborate with because he's a good guy. So he'd be the guy that knows about the Gen 4, Gen 5 Glock, right?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, see? That would help.
See what I'm saying? And he's also the first guy to actually do a full auto 50 GI Glock.
Okay.
And you're the guy that does the big boom.
Yes.
Right? You are the RDX.
Yes, most definitely.
20 pounds of det cord, which is an awesome
20
story.
pounds of det cord. It's funny, the guy that I sold it to, the sergeant that I sold it to, was at drill this weekend. And he's still talking about it. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather you not talk about it because I believe him. I saw what he did with it. He was using to cut down trees. I don't know why.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
He cut down trees with det cord?
So he has pretty much, I think he has about 140 acres. And he had a couple of dead trees. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to use some det cord to take them out. I'm like, well, you could just use a chainsaw. Again, I believe that you can use this of yours. I see the patches on you, Ranger, Sapper. I understand that. I get it. Find a commander to tell me that you can have this for you. I'll give it to you. Just let me know. Came back within an hour. There was a commander. He was like, yo, no, he can have it. You're a lieutenant colonel.
That Sapper is a big deal right there. So, yeah, the Sapper is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Because you go to Fort Leonard Wood, and that's what they do all day. Right, they blow up stuff. They work with that. They work with the blasting caps and C4 and ammonium nitrate, and they're like pretty much like they also they're 12 Bravos that are engineers, and then they also blow up stuff. Right, and the Sappers that tab where they learn how to blow up stuff. Right,
copy.
So perfect guy to give that det cord. It's just funny.
I guess but still
to chop down trees, like you said. Chainsaw is efficient, but I guess it's not cool enough.
Exactly. And he, like I said, the Air Force, we see the tabs every once in a while. You can get a Ranger Air Force guy. I didn't know you can get a Sapper Air Force guy. I didn't really know what it was. My colonel was like, yeah, no, they blow shit up. And he didn't kind of go any further because my base doesn't have EOD, so we really don't know that much about the guys. And he was like, no, I can have it. I definitely can have it. I'm like, okay, well, find your colonel or your commander. He says, okay, fine. Lieutenant Colonel said, yep, he can have it. All right, well,
and he was good to go.
And he was good to go, and he paid cash, so I'm happy about that.
Hey, cash is king.
Cash is king.
Cash is king. Let me get a quick shouts out here. Sorry. Hey, I see you. I see y'all out here. Real Rambo, what's happening? American Ammo and Firearms. That's the guy you want to holler at if you're a little short of ammo, but you deal with the big stuff, so I don't think you're too worried about your ammo being too light. So now we talking about military. You talked about what is your military? You have a military background.
Yes,
what
sir.
is your military background for the people?
So funny enough, and I know everybody's gonna be like, that just doesn't make any sense. It just lines up too perfectly. But I am a 2W1. So AFSC for the Air Force is 2W1. I'm a weapons engineer. I load the A10s. We are the A10 loaders. I am finishing up some stuff to get promoted to a field grade, but I am the weapons guy. We are the ones that put the bombs on foreheads. I work with the GBUs, the Mark 82s, the AGM 64s, 88s, AIM 120s, the AIM 9. So it's funny enough that I am that, but no, I am a 2W1.
That's what's up. That is what's up. Shout out to my veterans out there. If you are Army, put up number 1. If you are Navy, number 2, Air Force 3, Marine 4, Coast Guard 5, and we're not even gonna say Space Force. Let's just do that, man. But yeah, shout out to the Air Force. There we go. Army. Yeah, show my veterans, show love. You're Army 1, Navy 2, Air Force 3, Marine Corps 4, Coast Guard 5, Black Point Dexter, Air Force. You got a fellow Air Force, right? A fellow airman. I think they're my Army people right there.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know, my Army people. See country. He's just country. See how far he a hunter, right? But hey, would you actually, let's say a person like CR42 who likes to hunt hogs, what would you, and he wanted to make it fun. Let's just say he wanted to make it fun, right? He wanted to make it fun.
Get a Bofus round.
Rofus? Okay, so shoot hogs with the Rofus.
I mean, you can. You technically, you can. I'm not saying there'll be anything usable after that. I said you can shoot.
Okay.
So he can shoot. I would shoot a Rofus round if you can get that, or if you can get a 50 cal tungsten shot, then you should probably. I mean, again, there's nothing usable after that, but
is that would be the slap tracer, right?
That is the slap tracer. Yes, it does have the slap tracer in it, and then it has the tungsten penetrator. So it's almost like a it's like a sabot round.
Okay.
So once it hits, it peels back that copper jacket, and there's just a long penetration of tungsten goes through. It's supposed to go through a hardened object, so it would probably use like to go through this wall if you wanted to hit the person on the other side. Okay. So you would either use that, or you can use the Rofus round, and you can use the high explosive tungsten Rofus round, and it'll go through, and there's tungsten that comes out and shoots out like molten. So that would be something that you can use. So if you ever wondered, hey, what was going on to the bad guys on the other side of the wall, and you shot Rofus rounds, you're basically shooting molten tungsten into them. So usually they catch on fire and burn stuff. Some of them do have white phosphorus in it, so it burns them regardless. Or you can have magnesium phosphate with it as well. So
wait, hold on. You got magnesium phosphate rounds?
Yeah. So when you look at the 50 cals, if you look at any weapon, and you remember you got the brown, the white, the blue, and all that other colors. Right. There's other ones that have stencils on it. So like some of them will be stenciled with red R's, red T's, red W's, and stuff like that. And that says there has an additive in there, and that additive could be, if it's white, red, and it has a W on there, that could be white phosphorus. So once it goes through, you know, it's catching on fire. I don't know if you ever seen white phosphorus ignite on flesh. Let's say flesh.
I haven't seen it on the flesh.
We've seen it. It's not it's not the nicest thing on earth. So
instant barbecue, pretty much.
Instant barbecue. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. That's instant barbecue. You can say it that way.
So let's see. Oh, good question, right? Shout out to RGG. Hopefully he comes over here. Hopefully you saw the link, RGG, so you can come up in here. I sent the link out. Anybody wants to come in here, chop it. Big fish of the boat. RGG is a layaway king, right? Mm-hmm. He's all about layaway. Now, could you put some of the stuff that you sell on layaway? Do you have a layaway plan for like a Bradley or?
Yeah, surprisingly, I was thinking about that
wow.
a couple of days ago when I was at drill because one of the airmen that wanted to go officer, he was talking to me and we were chopping it up. He's a historical cat, so he likes to tell me about all these historical weapons and stuff like that. Right. And he was asking if I could get 8mm Nambu rounds that go into a Seika something Japanese World War II gun. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me go find it. I'll find it. And I found it for him. I was like, hey, bro, it's like 14 grand. You got it? He was like, well, I can give you like, you know, 5 grand now. Next week, I can give you another 5 grand. Like, could we do well? Well, I'm like, you know what? I mean, as long as you give me 5 grand, you know, like something heavily tangible. It's not like $100. I'm talking about like, if these things cost, you know, if it's costing 15 grand, I need 5 grand for me.
That's
like,
what's up.
We can do that. And then especially with a lot of the firearms that I'm manufacturing, like I told you, I'm manufacturing that full auto 7mm. So with me doing that, you know, depending on how much it costs to build, I don't know how much it's really going to cost to build because right now all I got is the raw material.
Right.
All of that came up to like $400. So once I get done with that and after I present it to SDI and everything and they say, hey, it's cool, then yeah, you know, I have no problem with layaway. I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're buying it, you're buying it. You know what I'm saying? If you're serious, you're going to buy it.
There you go. Speaking of layaway king, Precision Strike, this is RGG.
What's up, brother?
This is layaway king. So here you heard that, King. If you want to get you a Bradley 37-ton APC, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't put that's like buying a house, ain't it?
I mean, if you got money, who am I to deny you?
I heard
you just got to have a strong justification for it.
Now, well, like we said, and since we're on that, so everybody that wants to know, yes, you can own a tank, you can own military operational equipment. There's a very fine line with the aircraft. And I saw a question. So SDI is Sonora Desert Institute. They are they're a gun school. They're an online gun school. It's just up there with AGI, which is America Gun Institution. But I like SDI a little bit better because they actually teach you ballistics. And then they also teach you how to do business plans. But they're really good. I like them. I had no problem with it. And if you're military, you get 50% off of your tuition. So
another question for you.
Yes. Do you have to have present justification for a Bradley fighting vehicle? So with the military equipment, there's a thin line with aircraft. Aircraft is a thin line, okay? That one, you really got to talk to, at that point, you got to talk to the FAA. They will let you have a P-51 Mustang. They'll let you have a MiG Foxbat. They'll let you have an Su-37 Terminator if you can get that. You can even have an F-15, F-16. Those have to be demilled and desensitized. And by desensitized, I mean they cannot have stealth capability. Okay, so that's with them. They don't really give a fuck if you go in Mach 5. They don't care about that shit. Right. Those have to be completely demilled. There could be no countermeasure switches. There could be no master arm. There could be nothing in there except a yoke and a thruster. That's pretty much it. You can have your ejector seat. They're probably going to get a little pissy about that because that technically can kill you, but they'll let you have it.
So basically, you couldn't get an M61, full functional M61.
No.
Or could you?
Long answer is yes. Short answer is no. Long answer, could you do that? Yeah, but you really gotta kiss a lot of ass. And then two, they would ask me like, where is he going to shoot this damn thing at? Okay. Versus, surprisingly enough, could you have an Apache with a 20 mil on there that actually works? Yes. Could you have a Black Hawk with a minigun on there? Yes, you can. How do I know this? Because there's a lot of places in Vegas that will let you shoot them bastards off. They have no problem with that. Why? I haven't gotten a straight answer. My legal department now at my main job told me it's because they can shoot you down. Okay. They're saying that they can probably scramble somebody to hit you before you actually start acting stupid over there. Now, is that going to stop anything in between time? Probably not. But it's kind of hard to get the aircraft. Ground vehicles, on the other hand, if you look at your state laws, and if you're in the state of Michigan or Texas or anywhere that has a very big agricultural area, anything with a track vehicle that weighs more than a ton is considered just a farm equipment vehicle. A tank is considered farm equipment here, okay? You can literally put a license plate on a tank and drive it down the street. If any people are here from Detroit, yes, you can drive this damn thing down Grand River or Gratiot. No question. You have a license plate. Problem, that barrel is the destructive device.
Gotcha.
It's not you can put a 50 cal on there. That's not the destructive device. Well, we'll get into that. But that's not the main destructive device. They're more concerned about that 108. Okay. If you want to do that, you would have to come to me and say, hey, I want to buy a fully functional SEP V2 M2 A2 Abrams. No problem. I will get you that. Comes that caveat that I like to say a lot. The caveat is going to be this. They're going to look at you and say, you really, you're not supposed to have it. And they rather me get the firing pin and put a weaker striker in there. So you can fire off all these little pop smoke things and all that shit, which you can get into other stuff about. You can make that into a shotgun. Mm-hmm. I can explain that later, but I would rather you have a barrel that can just shoot smoke. Again, where are you going to get a 108 Sabo round from? You can get it from me, or you can get it from General Dynamics. General Dynamics is probably going to look at you side-eyed and say, no. I'm probably going to look at you side-eyed and be like, for what? It's a Sabo round. What are you shooting in the middle of Detroit with a Sabo round? And why would you want a Sabo round? That's where that caveat starts coming in, because I'm like, I got you the damn thing. We can make smoke grenades all day. I'll show you how to do it. You ain't never got to come back to me. But you're talking about you want a DU round, you want a Sabo round, you want a shape charge. Now we got to start talking about what are you shooting at. Now, if you're shooting now, I don't know why you would do that, but if you want to play World of Tanks for real and shoot at each other with tanks, okay. But there's other death factors if you don't use kinetic penetration. I'm saying if you're not using Sabo rounds, you can shoot somebody in a tank with a weak Sabo round, and y'all can be, shooting at each other. You might have sprawling and you might get killed from the back blast, but you can do that. So yes, can you have a tank? I would be happy to sell you a tank. If you want a tank, I could sell it to you. Or how many people have heard of govplanet.com? .gov? Anybody
heard of govplanet.com?
Well, I ain't heard of half of the stuff you're talking about. Lord.
Okay, I'll tell you.
So look here, you ain't even really got to go through me unless you want a new one. GovPlanet. GovPlanet, shout out to them, because I was talking to them and they're in Canada.
Hold on one second. Mm-hmm. Big Fish Little Boat. He wants some hot 5.7s.
You want some hot 5.7s. Can I hook you up? Well, I mean, define hot and how hot.
I guess stuff that would just...
He just needs some 5.7 ammo. That's all. He like, man, I don't know.
He wants a 5.7 that will probably rip some armor up, possibly
Is that illegal for you to have? I don't know. Where are you located?
That's where you located, Big Fish Little Boat.
Where are you located?
Ooh-wee. Boy, you talking some stuff. And you in Detroit, man?
I'm in Detroit. So let me say this. So hot ammo rounds. So real quick, 5.7 rounds are always hot because that's the main reason I don't carry them bastards that much. I will carry them as a ECD, EDC, ECD, whatever, as an everyday carry. Right. But the problem is I've actually shot with one of those in a self-defense issue, and they overpenetrate. They are always hot. They will go through the car, hit him, and probably come out. Okay, that's the problem.
Jesus.
Now, I'm assuming by hot, you're talking about the AP rounds, the black tips. Black tips are not illegal in the state of Michigan. They like to say it is. It's a long jargon speech, and I wish, and if you want to, you can actually look this person up on Instagram. Her name is Phoenix Firearm Academy. She is the one that taught me the CPL and how to teach CPL to everybody else. But she teaches law. And AP rounds are not illegal-ish in the state of Michigan. There has to be a certain type of license. You have to have a certain type of SOT. You don't really need a justification with it. It would be best if you did, but you don't need it. But the problem is I can only sell it to state of Michigan residents, and I can only sell it to people that really need it. Can I give it to you? If your state doesn't have you have to look at your penal code. Everybody look at their penal code before you start asking for a lot of this stuff. Because I can sell it to you. It will get to your state and they will never give it to you. Because your penal code is, no good. Yeah. And I'll be happy to give you 50% of your shit back, but the rest of that, man, technically that's yours. That is tank. I'm not taking a tank back. I'm not taking AP rounds back. That's yours. Go get it. But you have to really look at your penal code. So like in the state of Michigan, it says nobody may manufacture any type of AP rounds unless they are a ITAR facility and or a special type of SOT.
All right,
you can never do that. I just if you had a type 7, you just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. If you were type 6, type 8, you just couldn't do it. That's when you would have to have the justification for those type 10s and 11, plus that SOT1 and the SOT3, which are the research part of the special occupation tax. Once you have that research part for you, they'll be like, okay, well, technically we said the FBI or whoever, ATF, let's say, the big government, big brother said that, yes, he can have that. And because, yes, he can have that, and he does SPIRs and stuff like that.
Right.
He might be running around with AP rounds or DU rounds. So technically, could I sell that to somebody? Yes, because of my type of company.
What's a DU?
A DU is a depleted uranium round. So it's a hardened metal. So
I love it. That's the shit right there. Yeah, depleted uranium.
Yeah, those are good. Those are the best rounds. Honestly.
All the way up. Yeah.
I
want some DU. Do you do DU rounds? And actually, let me ask some of the questions. Before I get in there, I want to give shout outs to some of the people in the chat. House of Siege got a question. Real Rambo J, he's ready to put his house up for shit, right? So he's asking if you got a house and
don't put the house up, man. We work something out.
You got Santee, who's a fellow airman herself, fellow wingnut, who wants a tank with a lemonade stand in that motherfucker.
Right? I can sell you a tank with a lemonade stand. I'm not okay. There's a lot of.
I'll sell it to you. Shit, that's what you want.
I mean, if that's what you want, that's the question. But I'm like, why would a lemonade stand? Who are you selling this to?
I guess if she's in the sticks of in Texas where it gets swampy and shit, where a track vehicle that heavy could get stuck. By the way, but that's all right. Now, before I get to House of Siege, who I got her joint up there.
Yes.
Jay Smith, Mambo Tactical. Unfortunately, he's in California. I would say on that one, check your laws. Check your laws. But
you can check your laws. I was going to say there is a black FFL out there. Jonathan Redstone and Gwen Redstone, because those were the people that were asking a lot of questions. I was asking them a shit ton of questions. They were the first black FFL that I knew of. So I was talking to them a lot. And then I got outside the range a little bit. And they were like, okay, now you got to tell us how the shit done. They are California compliant. They are on the board for NAGA. They are on the board for talking to people about the HR representations and shit. All I know about California and Chicago, New York, New Jersey, all them goddamn countries, basically countries that have their own separate laws from their state, is that it's the Iron Curtain. And if you're asking me to buy or sell you something from there to there, I'm probably going to have to send it to Jonathan. Okay, I would probably send it to him. If you're asking for a gun, I'm going to send it to him because I don't know what the law is, and it might have to have something done to it. If it's something that needs to be done that's outside of my legal knowledge of it, I'm not touching it. So I will disassemble it and I will send it to him. They would then do what needs to be done. With that being said, I'm going to say that AP rounds are not legal in California. I don't know, but I just the way that their gun laws are, because you have a list of approved weapons. So I'm assuming that they're going to say no to the AP.
Fucking Baltimore James.
I don't know.
Baltimore James, this guy is a teacher that I skip. You cause Baltimore James to skip school. You the type of person, if you were a teacher at the school, to call it, because you're full of knowledge, and I know a lot of acronyms go over people's heads. And
yeah.
I understand if I say something. Well, but
if I say something, just stop me and be like, "Hey, what the fuck is that?" I'm sorry.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
everybody stops it, man. Shit.
But also this, cause I like I said, I understand some of that stuff. Some good talking. But for those who have questions that we don't get to here, in the event we don't get the questions here, Carbon Q, shout out to Carbon Q. She is a doll. Precision Strike. His Instagram has been placed on there, so definitely reach out to him. He'll be able to answer your questions. So if we miss your questions in here, you can hit him up, because I'm not gonna hog him up, man. He's for the community, man. His brother's about his business. This dude's very, very intelligent. He knows his shit. Now I got two questions. We're gonna do House of Siege question. I got up there. Self-defense and about your self-defense encounter. What?
And so I've had a couple of them.
All right.
And this one wasn't recent. It was maybe about 2.5 years ago. Now, the reason that I say it was a self-defense encounter is because, yes, the person did try to take my vehicle, and I have a Dodge Challenger, so those are a little bit, on the want list for a lot of people. And just like everybody says, I'm going to reiterate this just because I am a CPL instructor now, so I'm going to reiterate this. Keep your head on a swivel. And no matter where you are, just know where the hell you're going to go if something happens. I think we talked about this. Like, hey, if I got to run, then I'm just going to run.
Yeah, right.
In that situation, I could not run because I kind of saw him milling about. But because I'm in the city of Detroit, I've seen people just mill about, gas stations and different things like that. So that was kind of a strike against me because I saw him doing that, but I couldn't take, judgment on somebody because he's just standing there. They're known to just stand there. As I was getting back into my car from refueling, that's when he ran up. And as I see him running up, I can see him pulling out a weapon.
Okay.
I then shot through my car door. So I just ended up shooting through my car door and then skirting over to the passenger side, getting out and getting behind my engine block, because that's where I knew where to go, because it's an engine block. What the hell is going to shoot through it? I shot him twice. I didn't know I shot him twice when I pulled the trigger. And when I got out of the car, he was on the ground. So with me doing that, again, when you get into these situations, you're not going to know how many rounds you shot. You try to keep a mental note about how many you shot. I thought I just shot once. I didn't know I pulled twice. But he was on the ground. So when the cops came, they were just like, yo, well, he has a gun. It is what it is. Did he die? No, he did not die. He did try to sue me, though. But he did not die. He is paralyzed from the neck down. But he did try to sue me. And in the state of Michigan, yes, you can sue somebody for.
And that's the fucked up part, right? You may get off on the criminal, but you fuck around and get the civil, right?
You
Because
might
all
get
the
the
family like, well, why did he shoot him? He didn't have to kill him. Well, he didn't kill him. He just paralyzed his
I
ass.
did not kill him. And
And
that's what happened too. That is it's funny that you said that. So when we went to court, the first question, I don't know if that was his girlfriend, I don't know what the woman was, but she cussed me out and she said, you should have just gave him your car. And I was like, I'm
fuck
sorry.
that shit.
Okay. But yeah, that was their argument. Oh, he could have just gave the car and he could have bought another one. He has insurance. The judge didn't go for it because he was like, fuck it. Basically,
right.
fuck that. He was
Fuck
like,
him.
no, you
Exactly.
tried to pull out a gun and his life was in danger. He shot him. Now, the fact that he got, the first shot off is probably what saved his life. So he said no, denied the claim. But I will say this, and I'm going to say this to a lot of people in here. I know the CPL instructors are saying, hey, keep your head on swivel, shoot if you got to. Just remember a couple of things. One, it's fast, it's loud, and it happens. Because I thought I could count rounds being shot, did not count the rounds. Two, make sure you know what you're about to hit. Like I said, those 5.7s are really, really good. They over penetrate. If it was not for him being by that pump and that pump taking them rounds, I don't know where those rounds would have went to. Also, remember, once you call the cops might be on your side, but their job is to file a case. When you shoot somebody, you're automatically in the wrong. It doesn't matter if you're in the right. You're automatically in the wrong. If he dies, you're automatically charged with the homicide. That's why it's called justifiable homicide when you are acquitted from it.
Right.
You're going to get filed with something. It's good to have a lawyer. I did not have the USCCA at the time. I had to find a firearms lawyer, which was hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But now, because I do have USCCA, I can call them if that happens again. But yes, there's a lot of things you just have to take into account when this happens. And when it does happen, if it does happen, the firearm instructors usually tell you, hey, don't worry about it. You just put your gun down and all that shit. The cops didn't take my gun because like I said, I see the guy with the gun. You shot him. Right. Clearly, he was in the wrong. So that's how they went about it. Did they file charges against me? They filed a discharge of weapon charge with me. And because it went criminal, because it's going to go to the criminal no matter what, the judge said no, it was justifiable discharge of weapon. So that gets pulled off your record once you get into the court system. Okay. Now, when you go into the civil court, because if they sue you, which they can, because this is America and you can sue anybody for anything.
Right.
When it goes in there, yes, you could lose that depending on how the judge really feels about guns. The judge, he was like, yo, look, you tried to kill him. He was justified in doing that. If anything, he should sue you. But he's not claiming a lawsuit, which I didn't claim a lawsuit against him. I could have, but I did not claim a lawsuit against him. And that's what happens. Now, in saying, hey, it over penetrated and hit that gas pump. My insurance, my car insurance, asked me, does the gas station want to press charges against you? Because that was going to be the next thing, property damage. They said no. Thank God they said no, because I don't know how much a gas pump costs.
Shit, probably a lot.
Probably a lot. They did fix my car. The insurance fixed my car. They didn't charge me anything because they were like it was a life or death situation. So.
Appreciate it.
Man, Detroit crazy as hell. And that was with the 5.7. What gun you was shooting?
I was using the 5.7. That's how I know that the 5.7 over penetrated.
The FN 5.7?
FN 5.7, yes. Not the Ruger. The Ruger. I didn't know about the Ruger until like 4 months ago.
Which is fucking like $400 cheaper.
It is a lot.
I got a Ruger 5.7.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Carrying that thing.
Yeah, no, you should. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you came up to me and said you want an FN 5.7, I'm probably going to charge you about $1,700, maybe $1,900. The Ruger is $700.
Yeah, go with that.
And now they're on sale, so I can give it to you for $500. So it's
boy, I'm about to call you when we get off the live. Then we're gonna.
Yeah, man. Look,
phone call just happened. That just happened, man.
Look, you already know his link out there, man. His brother's mad open to questions.
I might not even email me for that.
There you go. Look, you
I
ain't.
might not need layaway for that one.
You might not need layaway.
I might not need it for
Let
that.
me know.
Ah, shit. But check this out. I
Yes,
know.
sir.
Shout out to Jay the Shooter. He had a question earlier.
Yes.
He's the type 07, 02 SOT.
Yes.
As far as transfer FFL, SOT, FFL, SOT, if he wanted some stuff, how would that work for
Same
him?
way that so it's the same way that you've been transferring right now. You would literally just contact me and we would do a FFL transfer with each other's FFL numbers. So you would fill out the form on the AT. You can even fill it out on the ATF website. I can make my own. I haven't done it yet just because my website is not done. My website will be up and operational after Halloween. Just give me a minute. It costs a lot. But you can just do a FFL transfer.
Right.
And I can just give, like, literally, if I felt like it, I can drive to you and just hand it to you and just you can sign the paperwork. It's not hard. Now, what will be the deciding factor is if you're saying, hey, I want explosive ammo, then I need to see your FEL license. So anything that's going to go boom, I need an FEL for. So if it hits and the definition that they gave me is if you can throw it and it stops, and then there's a boom because there's a fuse, a proximity fuse, or any type of fuse, or anything that triggers a secondary reaction,
Right.
then the one that the primer sent off, they need an FEL. So if he said, I want a Rofus round, you got to get an FEL, and you need to at least get the bare minimum for, I want to say moderate explosive. So like type 1 point, what explode the 1.4 explosives, because they're still considered fragments after they go off. So it's a fragmentation.
Which is fucking crazy, because as a citizen, I could go buy Rofus rounds.
Yes,
and
you can go buy.
But because he might be in a position where he could sell them, it's a different animal.
Different animal for that, because so the problem is the FELs are a little bit different. So everybody's, funny enough, you all have dealt with people with FELs. 4th of July.
Right.
Anytime you go to Phantom Fireworks, they have a FEL, and their FEL is the cheap one, which is $20, because it says that this location is legal to sell fireworks and pyrotechnics. Okay, that's all that means. You're dealing with a FEL that has the potential to do harm. Anytime you see, I don't know, like when they take down a building, they have a FEL for construction, but they're dealing with RDX or they're dealing with TNT. They're probably not dealing with TNT that much anymore, but they're probably dealing with RDX. And they're dealing with small versions of shape charges because they need to cut through that steel. So in that case, they might actually have det cable that has a shape charge that actually pushes through and cuts like a blade. So technically, they are FEL. So you've dealt with them, but at this point, you're now saying, I want Robert to make me a round that when it impacts, it explodes. The problem is you're saying you want to basically throw something at somebody and cause that person damage. That could be possibly deadly to them, or it can leave them maimed.
Rounds are.
So that's where it's getting into that gray area. That's why at that point you're saying, okay, I want a 32 round for a what did you guys put onto the M14s, the 32 grenade launchers? You want one of those?
Oh, you want the 40 millimeters, the 203s.
Yeah, you want a 40 mil. I'm like, okay, that's not an issue, but now you're getting into that gray area where I cannot transfer that round to you because you don't have an FEL, and then you damn sure ain't got the destructive device. Right. So he wants to do if Jay wants to do destructive transfers,
he wants the real shit. Fuck a Rofus, because we did the Rofus shit already. But let's say he wanted some 40 millimeter grenades or some M57s
Yes.
or he wants a shit ton of RDX because he feels like chopping a fucking forest down.
Then he needs to come to me as a consumer
Okay.
and not a FFL, because if he comes as a FFL, now
that's
I have
cool.
like, oh, hey, do you have a type 10 and 11, or do you have a 9? Do you have the FEL? I have to start asking questions, and if I look up and he doesn't, hey man, it's illegal.
All right, so he's better off coming as a consumer
You
to
need
buy
to
that shit.
come
Okay.
as a
The price
consumer.
different
Now.
as
You
a
come as a consumer and you buy it, and then you up the price to get your money back and sell it to people. Between you, the ATF, and the prosecutor.
That ain't got shit to do with you after that point. After you got the shit, it's on him to do whatever he do with it.
You got to do it legally. So and I'm not saying that Jay would do anything illegal. I'm just
no. He ain't fucking up his bread. That's one thing about Jay the Shooter. He ain't fucking up the money. Right?
Yeah, I just didn't want him to think I was saying.
No.
I'm not saying that you're doing that. I'm just saying that's a scenario.
Yeah, I definitely want you to link up. We definitely gonna link up. Right? The regular FFL guy, Jay the Shooter.
So I'm saying, do the price change from consumer to, like, if you was buying as a FFL or consumer? Is it more like you got to charge a consumer more?
Yeah. So what's going to happen is, unfortunately, and this is where the you know what, fuck it. So I'm going to tell you the secret of the FFL.
Put it out there, man. Put it out there.
I still expect you all to buy from me, or at least buy something.
Man, I'm coming to get that Ruger 5.7.
Let me be honest. So let me be honest. This is how it works. Pick a company. Just pick any company. I don't care.
Ruger.
Okay. Let's say you want a Ruger 5.7, because that's what we're talking about. Ruger 5.7. I said it was on sale for $599, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bought that shit from them for $300. And then if I put on my military discount, it's probably $250. Okay.
Damn. I said, damn it.
So for me, it's cheap. But because I need to make money, I just bought up a block of buildings. I have people I have to pay. I need a profit. I need to live. My daughter needs 50 cal round. You need to pay me $700 because that's the MSRP that I set for it. Now, if you come to me and you say, hey, man, I'm a veteran. I want that green military discount. No problem. I'm going to give it to you for the military discount. If it said it was $700, if I set it at $700, I'm going to drop it down to maybe $600 or $500 for you. If it's at $500 already on sale, I'm only going to drop it down to $400. But I'm going to write that off on my taxes as a profit loss. Okay, I'm still going to get my money back because I need my money. I'm just going to get collected at the end of the year.
All right.
You, unfortunately, like I said, unfortunately for all of you, I have to make a profit. I mean, it's the law of supply and demand. All right, look, it's just like a car company. A car company. Do you know how much it costs for to make a Dodge anything? When I was working for Dodge, they were like, it only costs Dodge maybe $1,200 per car. Okay, $12,000 per car. I'm sorry, $12,000 per car, and they sell it to you for $69,000. They got to pay for production, labor, me. They got to pay for all these other fucking engineers around here. So yeah, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to tax you for wanting this particular product. Right. Now, if you want a high point, then I won't sell you that shit. I will tell you, get the fuck out my.
Damn, we got mad.
I don't know why the hell you asked me for it. And I'm going to look at you stupid because I'm like, it's not the apocalypse. That's an apocalypse gun. Why the hell did you ask me for that? Sir, you need to leave. I will recommend you to somebody else, but I don't need your money at this point. But I don't sell high points, so that's the
I see. You got mad at that high point. Boy.
Now people asking like
that a couple of days ago, and I was like, I can get you one.
So we got people like asking for like stun grenades. People, I'll let y'all know. Check your state laws before you buy, because the moment you buy and you can't have it, you're gonna be assed out, right?
And I'm nice about it. I will give you 50% back. Like I said, now
you're being nice,
and I'm being nice about it. So and here's the thing. Funny enough, there are places online. CM2, I believe that's the name of the company. I have to look. They're not one of my distributors. I'm gonna try to be a distributor for them. But CM2 sells non-lethal grenades and stuff like that. They sell like like real stun grenades that they give to cops. And in the state of Michigan, you can buy a box of them for, I think it's like a box of 60 is like $200.
Man, I need that. That's what I throw that motherfucker. What?
So I mean, you know, claymores. See, you came to me and see this. That is a perfect question. Claymore. Again, I would have to sit there and be like,
this guy wants fucking bouncing Betty. Smitty, what the fuck you plan on doing?
yeah. See, some of these are now you're getting into like, okay, well, are you trying to? Who are you conducting war with? And or now let me take that back. So if any of you actually, and it has to be a legit company because I can look you up. It has to be a security company that is executive contracting. So Blackwater, Garuda, shit like that. You would have to be one of those. If you said you're one of those and you gave me the correct credentials, here's shape charges, here's claymores, here's full automatic rifles. I will tell you the person to go talk to get a fully armored vehicle. Can you have a fully armored vehicle as a civilian? Yes, you can. And I can tell you the guy to go talk to. Shit, we can do all that. Any of that stuff that you want if you are really an if you're protecting a senator, no problem. You want shape charges? Let me show you how to use this. You're asking me for claymore. Claymores are that's kind of that has only one purpose.
You try to whoop somebody at anything with it.
What is a claymore? I'm sure I ain't know.
Claymore is pretty much a mine, right? It's an out of the ground mine that you could face at whatever. You ever see this joint? It's a front towards enemy, right? It's a green fucking grayish looking box thing. Yeah. It's got two fucking stakes. You stick in the ground. It sticks out, and it actually tells you where to point it. It says front towards enemy. That's the way you want to point it towards your adversary. You got long wiring, and I'm just long wiring, whatever. And you got a detonated device, right? And you got to check in all that shit and all the detail. It's been a minute since I worked with claymores. And you would hit the fucking goddamn device, and it would just shoot out a shit ton of projectiles. And it spreads out. Yeah. Anything between like 150 yards is a really good, effective range. So anything within 150 yards, you're going to pretty much Swiss cheese. Anything out of that, they may get hit in the eye. Right? Yeah. Imagine, let's say it like this. If you had a BB gun, right? Let's say you had not a Daisy Red Ryder, but let's say you had, I don't know, fucking competition BB gun. And let's say you had 200 friends who had that same BB gun, and y'all all shot it together simultaneously at about 2,000 feet per second, some shit like that. That's a claymore with a large boom before it happens.
Yes. Yeah. And technically, I can sell those. We can make them. We can sell them. That one, so it's just like some other stuff we can get into, but those are more offensive devices. So the reason, I guess we can get into something real quick, and I'm going to answer the one gentleman's question, the M1A1 Garands. I haven't seen any, honestly.
He's probably talking about the spring, not the Garands, but the M14s, pretty much.
Oh, the M14s. Oh, you want one of those? Yeah. From who?
I don't know who he wants it from, but I guess he wants it for himself. Because I know the M14.
No. So FN makes them. Bushmaster, Colt. Like, you just got to pick a company. Can you have it? Oh yeah, you can have it. I'm assuming that you want the. Think you want the full auto one?
I think he wants to select fire, which be pre-86. Now that's the thing with pre-86. I know we know about FOPA 1986 and pre-86. Are there caveats?
Yes.
To pre-86.
I wish again, if you're on Instagram, go to Phoenix Firearms or Urban Firearm Academy. They know law. They know law. I know manufacturing. All right. Right. Manufacturing wise, can you all have it? Pre-1986 shit. I think the law on that motherfucker basically says as long as it's built pre-1986, you can have it. And it's fully auto, you select and all that bullshit.
Right.
When it comes to the manufacturers, the caveat is we are not privy to that law. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Some of us can make it, and I don't know all of the rules for it, but I know I can. In the state of Michigan, could I give you a full automatic? Yes, I can. Right. Okay. Because I have to build it from scratch, and it's other shit in there. ATF would know about it. They're not really funky about it. Now the problem is, I told you the last time, you can have it. Anybody can have a full select auto, all that shit, as long as it's built from the ground up. As soon as you give me Glock's gun and say, hey man, turn this into a full auto like the Germans get. Could somebody that is a gunsmither do that? Yes, we can do that. Is it legal? No, it's not legal. It's not really illegal because you break it. Well, yeah, you're breaking Bradley's bill shit. But the bigger issue is now if Glock finds out, they said we didn't ship over no fucking automatic to America, and we definitely didn't have them bastards built down in Georgia. Who did it? And they want to know. If they find out it was a FFL that did it, they're probably going to sue my black ass. And they're going to sue me for everything I got. And I'm going to be pissed because you went and did something with it for them to find out. Now I'm going to sue you. So that's really where it gets kind of murky. Now, when it comes to select, usually you're not going to have a select with me. If I build you something, it's probably going to do bang or brr. That's really all it's going to do. When we saying select, see, when I hear select, I'm assuming that you want to burst. And I'm like, I'm not that good yet. So I don't really know how to make the barrel.
I think a lot of motherfuckers
and then stop and then reset. And
I think a lot of motherfuckers really know how to do that. I don't think too many people want the burst. I think they want the select fire that goes from semi to full. Now we have a question from Big Fish Little Boat. I can answer this question. MP5. Now, if you're looking for a pre-1986 MP5, you're going to pay about $50,000 for a transferable. If you are an FFL, an SOT, if you want a pre-dealer sample, you're going to pay around $20,000.
Yes,
maybe more. And if you want a post sample, about 10. Right, so they're gonna kick your ass. Get your bread up. Even on the transferable MP5, just the fire control group by itself. Basically, the fire control group is what you could take a semi-automatic MP5 or the Zenith or whatever the fuck it is, and you can stick that in there. Just that part that's transferable is classified as a firearm. That's going to run you about $50,000. So if you don't have a lot of zeros, don't even think about it. And then you got to factor in the tax stamp, and you got to think about the waiting period, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this game is very expensive. If you want to get into the real shit, right? We didn't even talk about a whole bunch of prices yet. Just know that if you want this shit for real, the stuff that you could legally have, believe me, you are going to pay. Now let's just say somebody said, "Fuck it, I want a Bradley with working guns." How much would that cost if you could do it?
So funny enough, this probably is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm probably going to, I'll do a video on it. There is a old Bradley at one of our facilities that they tested it. They did all their bullshit. They're getting ready to demill it. And I was like, well, I know a couple of guys in legal. Let me ask them a question. And I did. I'm like, hey, how much for me just to buy this bastard and just to sell it? Right. And the first question they asked was, okay, you're fine.
Hold on one second. Stop right there.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me, I didn't do this. We already an hour into this joint. It's a 2-hour joint. Shout out to a regular gun guy for letting me know. What are the likes looking like, y'all? I want to see some likes, man. We getting some really good pertinent information in this shit.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button, because this is thousands of dollars worth of information you getting for free. Hit that goddamn like button. Welcome to the like button.
I might just have me a Ruger 5.7 coming, boy.
Hit that motherfucking like, because this brother right here could charge you a shit ton of money for what he's giving right now. He's giving you free jewelry right now, which is very valuable. If you're really serious about some of this heavy shit, please hit my like button. Show me some love. I know y'all been showing me some love, but let them algorithms up, because I'm telling you, this ain't a game, brother. This is the real shit, sisters. This is the real McCoy here. He's a type 10, type 11 FFL, ITAR FEL. We can get into the letters later. If you have any questions, you can hit him up if we miss anything in here. But just know this brother's giving me his time, and I appreciate it. This is some good jewelry that he's dropping for those who really want to get serious into the big shit, and even some of the smaller stuff as well. This guy's the catch-all FFL. So he may not know a difference between what a Gen 4, Gen 5 Glock look like, but you can see what the hell, you know what I'm saying? But that ain't his.
Like they all look the same. Shit.
But if you want a goddamn 110 millimeter howitzer, this is the guy you want to talk to, right? So now there's a question that before you continue on with this, answer this question real quick, and we come back to the Mag.
You know what? I can call. I don't really do too much with Magpul right now. But I can call him. You mean shit? Okay, yeah, I can. You want a Magpul? I mean shit, I can talk to him. That ain't no problem. So I deal with 46 companies right now. Okay, and I'm a dealer for all of them. And I pissed off a lot of people in the FFL around here because they heard that somebody is a distributor now, and they don't really know who, because I don't really show my face that much. I don't trust the other. We'll get into that later. But I can deal with Magpul. You want people like Magpul? Okay, shit. I mean, sometimes I don't know what people like. I just went with the bigger names and then kind of looked at a list of people that wanted something. Ryan from Urban Firearm Academy in Detroit, who does teach CPLs. He was actually like, hey, you deal with CZ? No, should I deal with CZ? Yeah, you should. Okay, well, let me keep talking CZ. So I'm like, I didn't know that people really like CZs like that until I started watching people's reviews. They just like CZ this, CZ that. So I'm like, oh, I'll carry some CZs. I thought y'all wanted Benellis and HKs and FNs, and he was like, you might want to drop the prices. You know, get some manufacturers that are in a different price range. Not a lot of people gonna come in with Benellis.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, then that's how I got into the bigger market. So if Magpul is one of those companies that people know and love, I have no problem carrying that.
Sweet. Now,
just give me a minute on it.
All right. Yeah, this is quick. Now we're going, okay, we gave a little bit of jewelry here, right? We're going to stop it at, now we're going to have the fun shit, right? Now it's going to be just us chopping, because you gave a plethora of knowledge, and some people's heads are spinning right now.
Mine, I'm going.
You know,
what the hell just happened? All I heard was Ruger 5.7. That was it.
That's it, right? And that's where it was at that. You talk about fucking, you know, Det Cord and RDX is like, oh, okay, this guy is complete. But you know what? This is good stuff. And hey, look, y'all, Gun the Hookah bringing them heavy hitters, man. I'm let y'all know this is the shit I do, right? But we're gonna have fun now, right? So this will be a perfect time. If you have any question, I'm gonna put the link in there. Hopefully, I put the link in there. Put the link in there. If you have any direct questions, I'm gonna let y'all come on here and chop it with Precision Strike, and also Layaway King, regular gun guy. He was my mentor on this shit.
I am the Layaway King. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Layaway King. Throw them L's up for Layaway. Throw them L's up.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I ain't about it at all, man.
Facts. If anybody want to come on, ask Precision Strike some questions, now would be a great time.
Oh, this is dope, man. I was so boy, I felt like I was whoo.
Bro, I'll tell you, when we had this conversation before, brother, look, we was getting it in.
That's dope, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing that info, man. That's dope, man.
Yeah, like I said, and you know, like I was saying, you know, the Bradleys, you can have them. You can have any of these land-based war machines. You can have them. Legal, they just wanted to know if I had, you know, the FFL type for it. They didn't really care. But for this Bradley in particular, they're not just going to let it off the lot, even though it's used without it.
Right.
So they were like, okay, a Bradley usually goes about 2.8 million some odd dollars.
Oof.
A little bit, really a little bit more than that. Even I thought a Abrams was expensive, really about 10. It's not that bad.
Wait. You said
10 what,
million
man?
is
10
not
what?
that bad?
So look, so I worked on the Abrams for a while, and I thought them bad. I'm like, shit, these motherfuckers must be $100 million each. And they're like, no, they're 10. I'm like, oh, well, that's not bad. It's cheap for a tank. It's cheap for. It's cheap-ish for. It's like a mid-range.
They use jet fuel. Doesn't the M1 use jet fuel?
It does. It uses JP. Yeah. So yeah, you need to get, if you can find it. Well, you have to go to an airport. Yeah.
Hey, big fish level. Not a few Taliban. They free 99. All right,
I'm free 99. So look. So let me talk about that because
go out. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
That, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I saw that shit, kind of pissed me a little bit because one, I went to Afghanistan. That was my war. I enlisted under it. That was my war. I'm a little emotionally attached to it because we did have people that helped us over there. And I went over there and my mother died while I was over there. So I couldn't come back soon enough. I came back and I held her in my hands while she died. So I'm a little sensitive about that. I don't like how they did it. And I wasn't concerned with them leaving weapons. So this is the thing. A lot of people that aren't in the military probably don't know we leave weapons. We leave that shit.
We leave that shit all the time.
All the goddamn time. The problem is they left it and everybody else left except for the Russians and the Chinese. And in my mind, as a weapons engineer, I sat there and I started having heart attacks.
All that
We're
shit.
still having heart attacks right now. Oh shit, they have our weapons and they're going to de-engineer them. That was the major thing. I didn't give a fuck that the Taliban had it because if you're worried about the Taliban having an F-16, that's the last thing you should worry about. Them motherfuckers don't know how to fly F-15, 16. They don't know how to fly a 32. They damn sure don't know how to start up them damn tanks. Yeah, they got a Black Hawk off the ground. A Black Hawk isn't that hard to get off the ground. I can tell you that from somebody that got a private pilot license. It's not that damn hard. It takes about 5 minutes of looking and fucking around with the damn control. So I didn't really worry about that. I was more concerned that they're going to say, oh shit, the Chinese want to be our friend and they want to give us money for all the weapons that the Americans didn't destroy. Hey, y'all got Abrams? Can we get fucking Abrams? And everybody was like, oh, they're free 99. Look what Joe Biden did. I'm like, well, we leave them all the time. That's not the problem, but we demill them before we leave them and they can't de-engineer them.
Yep.
These motherfuckers left an army's worth of armied weapons.
They left a brigade worth of shit. I said, we do it all the time, but I was like, fuck. But oh well. It ain't like the Chinese ain't already de-engineered that.
Yeah, that PKA 28.
Right.
Damn, that looks like an F-35. Yes, it looks like an F-35 because somebody they literally had a mold in Lockheed and they stole the information and got it over there. And that's why you don't see a lot of weapons engineers like myself walking the street without firearms because I'd be damned if you roll up on me and you think you ain't going to get shot. So,
right.
But that's my thing about the Afghan evacuation. So
it was messy. And let's see. Somebody wants to know about, you can convert it to full auto. I don't know how easy it would be, but how legal it is the question you might want to be a little bit more concerned with. As far as the AK-47 question, I'm sorry, I can read that back up there. As far as
no, it's not hard.
All right, transferable AKs are going to run you about $30,000, right?
Full auto ones.
Full auto, select fire, yeah, transferables.
Yeah, so with those, again, you got to look, like you said, the fucking transferable thing. That's one.
Yep.
That's for those that are already in the United States. Those are the ones.
Right.
Like Gun and Hookah and regular gun guy. They got them. They own them. Do I really want to give them up? I'll give them up for the right price. I paid this much. I'm going to ask for that much. You know what I'm saying? You'll transfer.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
There's no more. Of course, there's no more coming into the U.S.
Nope.
There is no more Russian ammo coming into the U.S. anymore. Okay, so if you got used to those True Glows or whatever the fuck they're called, they're no more. I sold them all out because after September 7th, it was illegal to transport them in. Caveat to all of this: you want a real AK, you want a real Kalashnikov, you will contact either me. There's only ever about like 5 other people in the U.S.
Hold on, stop right there. I'm sorry. RWG, hold me down for a quick minute. I gotta step off real quick.
All right.
Continue on precision search.
I don't know what the hell all this means, but look, I'm in here. I'm so happy to meet my man. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, man. No, like if you want those damn Kalashnikovs, you want a real one.
Yeah,
you can get them from the U.S. His grandson defected over here about 1995. He is over here. He is building real Kalashnikovs down in Florida. Go to Kalashnikov.com. He is building real Kalashnikovs. He will sell you real Kalashnikovs if he likes you. He does not sell to too many dealers. Okay. The fact that he was willing to work with me was a long shot. I just threw it out there, and for some odd reason, it came back with a yes. Okay. But real Kalashnikovs are in the U.S. You just need to either contact Kalashnikov and talk him into giving you a select fire, or you can come to me. We'll give it to you, but it's still, instead of being 50 grand, you might get a discount, and it might be 25,000.
Okay, that's a hell of a discount. That's still a lot of money.
I mean, it's still a lot of money. Can you still do that? Yeah, you can get any kind of select fire weaponry. That's not the issue.
So what's the so I know everybody, you gotta get your FFL and what is the SOT to be able to get a full auto. But you're saying consumers can get full autos, we just gonna pay shitload more money.
Yes, so the SOT, so a lot of people, you'll hear people say, hey, do you have a class 3 license? And I'm assuming they're talking about the SOT3 license. Well, not license, but what's the best way to say it? The attachment to a FFL. So you still need a FFL. You can't just be like, oh, somebody has a SOT3. I'm like, well, how did they get that? You can't have one without the other. Okay. The SOT just means a special occupation tax, and that means that you pay a certain tax. I pay a certain tax a year to sell full automatic weapons. But you can't have how do I say it? So you have to have a certain type of FFL that has the attachment ability to a certain type of SOT. So you couldn't say I have a type 1 FFL and think that you're going to get a SOT type 1. Okay. Because they're going to look at you really. You probably could do it, but they're going to make you jump through hoops, because that means you are doing experimental research with high-powered weapons. And by high-powered weapons mean a lot of different things to them. When they hear SOT1, they think that you're making lasers and rockets. That's what goes through their mind. Now you have to talk to. I didn't even know these people existed until I went through ITAR. It's DOTT, which is Department of Treasury and Department of I forgot the name, but it's like the state. It's part of the state head. It's the state head, and you have to talk to the heads of states and shit. Like, hey, the Secretary of State, they need to know why the fuck you want a SOT3 for an ITAR. What do you need an ITAR SOT1 and 2 for? That means you're doing like laser weaponry. You're making, tanks and shit, and they're going to be coming off the factory line. So that's the problem. But the SOT3, you can a type 1 get a SOT3. I think it's attached to it. I think it does have that attachment ability. But those are separate. It's separate things you got to pay for. And ATF, really, they just want their money. They don't really give a fuck.
I find it pretty interesting that you in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, I'm not in Chicago anymore, but here everything is screwed up. And then Detroit, I be in Detroit all the time, and Detroit is just like Chicago.
Yeah,
but it's a lot more free.
on some real shit, that was my major thing. And literally, I went out there Sunday night. You know, I drive around at night. I like to drive at night. And you know, I wanted to see my property at night. Didn't know there were clubs around my fucking property. Some of these little small factory buildings are clubs. I didn't know that. So I stopped over there. I'm like, shit, your new neighbor, you know, I'm about to turn on lights and shit over here. And they were like, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. And one chick wants to rent some of my parking lot there, right? And she was like, I don't know what type of people are attracted to a firearm store. And I was like, well, the type of people that's probably breaking into your shit. And you more worried about me. And you said you got people breaking into your shit and you want to rent my parking lot. I should be more worried about who you attracted.
Right.
You know? And that was the big thing with the city. They were like, oh, well, who's going to be attracted to this? I'm like, probably your citizens, because they have no place to buy a gun except for either illegally or go across the fucking road across 8 Mile to the suburb. So, you know, you're bringing up, hey, well, there's gun violence, going to be more gun violence. I'm not even open. And y'all reported a high gun violence season. I'm like, that's not my problem, unfortunately. And I hate to make it sound so cold, but it's really not my problem because I don't know what's on somebody's heart. I can't tell this person what to do and what not to do with a gun. I can't put a gun on the table and the shit just shoots somebody. It's very rare that a gun just goes off by itself. If it does, poltergeist and or malfunction.
Right.
But it's just not going to, walk up, grab somebody by the back of the head and blow their head off. Unfortunately, that's not my problem. That sounds more like a police issue. And then the cops were like, well, you're going to have AP rounds running around and blah, blah, this. I'm like, again, I can't stop what's on somebody's heart. And second of all, it's an ITAR. I'm ITAR. You can't come onto this facility without FBI warrants. So that kicked you off right there. So it's more that they were more worried because they heard the type. They didn't give a fuck about the FFL. They thought it was just like a regular FFL.
Right.
And I don't know who. I'm assuming it was the little white chick.
I fucking said it, Bob.
Who went online and started looking at all that shit. Because when you fill out an FFL, box 6 asks you, hey, you need to tell us who is the presiding law enforcement person in your state. Right. And we have to make a notification to them.
Yep.
Hey, it's not going to affect you getting it or having it in the city. It might affect us giving you that permit if they say like you're a rapist or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it literally says if you are allowed to own have a CPL and own firearms, then whatever they say, then it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to see. They saw my shit and they saw a whole bunch of speeding tickets. And like, okay, he speeds. We can't do that shit. But they were like, that was the biggest thing. Like that was the biggest thing is like the type of FFLs, and then they saw FEL, and I think that scared the shit out of them because they saw RDX and all that. I was like, it's a special ass type of person that comes in and buy RDX. And they have a lot more money than I do. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they're going to give me $20,000 in cash, fine.
What's up, Art?
I'm sorry to be rude, man. I got to check out on you, gentlemen. I didn't want to just hang up the thing.
No.
Precision Strike, man. That's crazy, man. This information has been unbelievable, brother. Appreciate you, man. Black Point Dexter, what's up?
What up, man?
Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Gun the Hoop on his first live brought in one of the dopest guests I didn't seen on this thing before.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I appreciate all of that. I appreciate you having me, brother.
Hey, man, you already know, man. Come on, you my guy, man. So you welcome. Sure. Anytime I have somebody on, I'm gonna hit you up.
I appreciate you, brother. Y'all brothers be safe, man. I'm gonna go holler at Sister Carbon, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, brother. Be safe. Tell us what's up, man.
All right.
Yep.
Yo, Precision Strike. I just had a quick question. First of all, great name. Robert's your first name. That's my first name. So, two Roberts in the same family.
And both Air Force. Imagine
both
that.
Air Force. Aim high. You know what I'm saying? But I just had first of all, I just want to say thank you for all this information. You just, opened up a whole can of just knowledge that, you're sharing with the people. So that's, commendable just to be able to put that out there so eloquently and just put it, make it plain. So thank you for that. just a wealth of information. I had a question on the tannerite. How is tannerite legal over the counter? Is it because of the low explosive force, or why is that able to be sold over the counter?
So first off, thank you for saying I'm eloquent. Let's start off with that. Don't even know how to
we understand you.
tannerite is legal because of it's not the okay. So the explosive force is one thing, but I'm trying to. There's a term, and I don't know how to break it down, but it's the over pressure from tannerite. You have to have a shit ton of tannerite
In order to
have a over pressure where it blows up. You know how you put a firework on the ground? Like if I put it right here, you can feel it kind of like over here.
Yeah. So
the over pressure is usually what kills when it comes to explosives. I mean, you're going to get hit by shrapnel and shit, but it's the over pressure.
The concussive force that does damage to the tissues. I was a medic in the Air Force, so I understand the concussive forces and all that. So yeah.
He said it perfectly. The damage done to the soft tissue is what's going to fuck you up. You have to have a lot of tannerite.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to notice that you have a lot of tannerite. It's kind of one of those things you're like, damn, that motherfucker is buying a lot of ammonium nitrate. What the?
So red flag, red flags, yeah.
It's kind of like one of those where it's like, sir, what are you doing? Like it gets to that point where you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Put your hands up. Yeah. Like I'm going to arrest you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to plant some trees.
Like he said, like, what do you need 20 pounds of debt cord for? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he's chopping trees down with 20 pounds of debt cord. Okay, that's one hell of a party.
I was like, you know what? If that's what you look, I believed him, and he did do it. I'm like, I believe you. I don't believe that the lieutenant colonel would fuck me up like that. I just don't want to believe that. So I'm like, okay, he said fine, cool. But yes, tannerite. If I saw somebody buying 100 pounds of tannerite, I'd probably be like, well, that's a lot. It's a lot of tannerite, but shit. Now then it gets into 200 pounds. I'm like, well, bitch, hold on now. That's not like making bombs.
Okay.
Because at that point, I'm like, what do you have to have them
what's happening?
They do damage. And I'm like, now you're doing 200 pipe bombs, man. Put your hands up. Exactly. Because that's what it's really used for. Tannerite is a very good substitute for ammonium nitrate. That's it.
Exactly.
You can just buy a whole bunch of fireworks and that's another story.
Not that I know how to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, not that I know how to do it. Right. But I will say this. Anybody that's in this the state of Michigan, city of Detroit, January 2022, and I told you, you are more than welcome to come up here.
I'm coming out there.
I will be teaching a class on how to make from scratch, ammunition, and some of the ammunition that we will be doing is self-detonating ammunition.
Okay.
So,
thank you, brother.
I'm definitely coming out there January 22nd. I would love to get in on some of the, some M57s and play with that Lynx. I don't want to make your daughter cry or anything. So maybe we'll do it together.
As long as she's with, so she got two Tibetan Mastiffs basically. So as long as she's playing with the dog, she's fine.
And she's got Tibetan Mastiffs, so I got to go through her and the Tibetan Mastiffs. So if she starts crying, they're going to sense that, and we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
You and Jesus at that point, them dogs is kind of
pretty much.
Like punch them. You gotta punch these motherfuckers.
Jesus. Oh.
But I hope that answered it.
That answered my question. Thank you very much, brother. Gunner Hookah, thank you very much, my brother. Appreciate you. Precision Strike, man. I'll be definitely keeping track and following you. So thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Check out his Instagram. Carbon Q threw it in there, and it's.
All right, it's a running joke, but all right.
Crooked doves, man. Crooked doves.
I'll later, guys.
All right, Black. So yeah, I'm gonna put that link up. Anybody else have any questions? Come on through. Say what's up.
Man.
This was really a good. What about a semi-automatic a semi-auto AK-47? Shit, depends on your state. You can get them Well,
it still depends. Funny enough, it still depends.
Yep.
And the only reason that the AK is usually that dependent rifle is because are you asking for a genuine AK?
And I think a lot of people asking for like the genuine, because there's a lot of variants, right?
Yeah.
Variant platforms like the PAPs, the Snabas, the Dracos, and stuff like that. But a true to God Kalashnikov, the one that was maybe pre-banned, where they just took out the part that may have made it full auto, which it could probably still be full auto, but it's not. Versus, I guess if you look at the selector switch or something like that, that might like the part of that within the gun itself. And so I'm thinking if they want a true to God AK, a true to God AK-47 to me is full auto.
Yes.
Let's just be real. Semi-automatic is going to be different, and then I'm not a huge, I don't know a little bit about AK platforms, but I got a guy that I talk to who knows about like the Krinkovs and the Bulgarian kits, and he really gets deep into that. So as far as that, but if you're looking for like, I don't know, it all depends on your state and what you're looking for. So it's a lot of information out there. You could definitely reach a Precision Strike Manual stuff. Maybe I could link you up with this other guy that I know that does AKs, that's an AK person. He's a collector more than anything. So he's been doing the AK thing for about 25 years. So he's really in depth with AK platforms, everything from Bulgarians. He's got a one-off 545 underfolder, right? So he's got basically the only one to ever exist because he had it done. Right. So there's a few people out there that know AK platforms. But yeah, that'll be a question. If you have that question, reach out to me on my Instagram at Gun in a Hookah, or you can reach out to Precision Strike 313 and we can get you the information offline. This has been just awesome. Anybody else want to come on, man? Come on this joint and say what's up to my guest, because he's putting out
hey, asking questions don't cost shit.
Hell yeah.
You can ask me anything. I will answer anything, honestly. I don't really care. I've always said it's enough money for everybody to go around, so nobody's, none is bad. Good books on ballistics. That's a good question. Let me look that up, because the books that I have on ballistics all come from BAE, General Dynamics, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and
the major DoD contractors.
DoD contractors. So when we talk about ballistics, it gets really gritty for us to talk about ballistics, because we talk about the chemical reaction. We can give a shit about the goddamn projectile. We can make a projectile anytime. It's the chemicals that we're going to be using to make the propellants, because it's just like forging a sword or anything. Like when you start forging, you look for the metal. As long as I know the melt temperature of that shit, I can make anything. As long as I know the joules and kinetic transfer ability and what you are looking to do to that target, I can't give a fuck what the hell we'll talk about the projectile later. But I can give you some of my notes if you want, and you can, if you want to, you can decipher some of the math and shit on there, or I can like explain it to you. But I mean, I can give you a whole bunch of engineering notes. That's probably all I got. Or go to SDI. SDI actually has a 101 ballistics course, and they will tell you what ballistics and trajectory mean.
SDI as like Sierra Delta India.
Yep, Sierra Desert Institute. That is the online gun school that I'm at.
Right.
And they actually have a ballistic.
I did phonetic and threw you off because you get an actual acronym.
Right, I was like Foxtrot, all that shit. I remember all that.
Shoot up.
What's going on, man?
Right here. Shoot up, Precision Strike. This is my 0702. Meet the 1011 12520 FEL ITAR.
Damn.
Name all the acronyms. The catch all FFL. this is the guy right here. He can't tell you the difference between a Gen 4 and Gen 5 Glock, but he can tell you about det cord, RDX, Bradley's, demilling. This guy at fragmentation grenades, Tannerite. This is the guy. If you know the big stuff, the government stuff right there, the legalities of it to the degree. This is the guy you want to know if you want some cool stuff. And house.
He can acquisition anything though. Hey, tell him you can acquisition anything. Just tell him what you want, you can get it.
Like I always tell people that, like, you got enough money. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
We can sell you I could probably sell you a Mark 82. You want a Mark 82? We can give you Mark 82. I don't know what you're gonna do with a JDAM, but at that point,
this how far we going. Damn, we trying to take black 2A, especially to a whole nother level. We're on some upper echelon.
From a regular FFL guy to a elite FFL guy, I just want to give you your flowers, man, and say, bro, congratulations. I heard half your interview, but I only understood 25%.
Let me tell you something, and this is for everybody. First off, I'm not elite. I lucked up and got a position at a weapons company, and on some real shit. It's not a lot of black FFLs out there. Let's start off with that. It's not a lot of black FF thing of us out there. The CPLs, we're just getting into it, and if it really wasn't for these cool ass white guys that I was working with when I was doing cybersecurity, they were just like, yeah, man, I want to get an FFL. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He was like, a gun store. And he was showing me how to do it. He was like, yeah, man, with the gun store guy that I was talking to was like, oh, it's $500,000 just to get your license and shit. Mm-hmm. He sold me the shit. I didn't know where to find it. He was like, here, go to ATF.com. Here's the link. Let me show you how to fill this shit out. Let me show you how to do this. I'm like, bitch, oh. And then when I finally got into it, then the ATF actually had to help me because I didn't know shit about it. And I keep telling people, I know what I know, but if I don't know it, I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? Like when he was talking about the Magpul, I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds like a pretty nice ass gun. I mean, it sounds like a nice ass gun. I don't know what it is, but I can find out by tonight. It looks pretty. It sounds like it looked pretty.
Right.
But and like you said, it's just not a lot of us, and it just so happened that I knew some of the legality with, building a tank, and I knew what the ITARs were, so I just went that way. But with you guys being there first, no, you're the elite ones, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just building this bitch on a whim and a prayer.
Hey, it's all good, man. Hey, so my only question for you, brother, is January, I plan to be there with Gun and a Hookah. Yep. Can I say a dope ass range day? I just want to come out there and blow some shit up. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. So what I was proposing January is that next month I'm actually going through a legit lethality and survivability engineering course with the Big Six, which are the Big Six weapons companies, and they're sending all their engineers. Everybody got to learn how to do this shit.
Right.
Okay. So I was going to, kind of bring it back, but I don't know how to teach it to civilians without saying, okay, yeah, motherfucker, what we're going to be playing with is, this composite that we just made in the lab, and it's going to blow up half a block. You know what I'm saying? So you all are kind of going to be the test subjects to, hey, let's actually build a Rofus round. Let's build a Sabo. And then we'll whittle out the shit that people don't need to know. And then we'll present it to the prosecutor, because that's another thing I wish like the CPL people would say this. If you got a CPL person that's an instructor, or even the FFLs, and they're teaching you shit, make sure that shit is certified through their state prosecutor. Because if it's not, they teaching you some shit that's going to get you arrested. Because I thought I could just teach people CQB and CQC, and he looked at me and said, fuck no. Because now you're teaching them basically offensive shit that, the military knows, but this can be used as terrorist shit. You could be training terrorists. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know shit. I thought everybody knew this shit. He's like, no, you got to whittle to just the bare minimum. Then I'll prove it. But other than that, oh, fuck, the shit I was about to teach me is like, You teaching them how to make a sniper's nest? No, just absolutely not. Like, you're teaching them where to shoot between body armor and armor. No. He shot that shit. So he called me and said no. He didn't email me. I emailed his ass. And he called me and said, absolutely fucking not. Have you taught anybody this shit? No. So
awesome.
If you can get that done, that's the main thing. When you get like these CPL people, make sure that they got that shit done. Because hell, I thought like NAGA was approved in Michigan. They were like, no.
Okay.
They only approve the NRA shit. They haven't approved like whatever other CPL people are. They no, absolutely not.
Hey, so I got a regular FFL question, right? So you talked about manufacturing the ammunition, the Sabo round, the slap. What about some regular ammunition? Like, I saw an opportunity, right? Russia 7.62x39 band. What about simple shit like that? Can you manufacture?
You're fine.
Do you have the machinery? No, I'm asking you. Do you manufacture? Do you manufacture? Do you have that capability of manufacturing that?
I will by the end of next month, because I ordered like some sonic cleaners and I ordered a lot of like reloaders, but then I also ordered some just metalworking tools that I was going to use for barrel working. But basically building brass is like building a barrel, because you just hollow it out, then you fold the metal over to where you need it to be folded over. So I will at some point, yes. So probably November, I can start making it. But I want to take that class too, so I can do it properly. So I'm going to say probably January I'll be able to do it. Because they're teaching us how to make rounds from scratch. So I mean, I can probably do it then.
Yeah, that's definitely a conversation I want to have with you offline. Now, my the other question I have for you is, I heard you talking a lot about MHP. What's happening, brother? I heard you talking a lot about the some of the I would say heavy artillery or specific dynamite. I'm gonna say what did you say? RXP, RPX, RDX. All right, some of that stuff you talked about in the military capacity. So your FFL, is your FFL your business, or do you have those licenses with the military?
No, so that's part of the business. So so let me break it down, because I know we're throwing the acronyms around. I know maybe somebody might not know it. So like the federal firearm licenses, they're just like, they're just to sell firearms, ammunition, or import that and sell it to people. The federal explosive license are usually they're designated for construction companies, people that make explosives, and or like fireworks, firework companies and stuff like that. So with me in this capacity, yes, it can be sold to civilians-ish. Usually it's going to be a little bit more intense of a interview, because I shouldn't be just saying it like, oh, you come in here and pick it off the shelf. It's not going to be on the shelf. It's really not. You would have to come in, and because the FEL, the federal explosive license, is designated to a person, they would have to call me up front to actually interview you and be like, hey, I want to buy some RDX. And the first question I'm going to ask is, what are you buying the RDX for? Like, hey, it's my Second Amendment right. No, firearms are. This one is an explosive. It's not technically covered under your Second Amendment right. So I have to ask, what are you buying it for? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of more of an interview. If I'm looking at you and you like, oh man, I just want to blow shit up. I want to go out to a range and blow stuff up. Okay. I'm probably going to sell you some, but you got to come with me.
Okay. So I think I'm capturing what you're saying. So you talked about, so your FFL license is specifically for your company. And you talked about in the military, in uniform, you having the same job, which makes sense. You said the 2W1, I think you said, right?
Yeah. So kind of. So not EOD. So 2W1, 5, 7, whatever acronyms or whatever number you want to throw in there, and really is a C for mine for the officer shit. It's another letter in there.
Yeah.
But the 2W1 is basically, we're the bomb loaders. You said you got an F-22, that motherfucker needs to go out and drop a 5,000 pound JDAM on somebody. So you have 2W1, which is me, which I'm going to be the loader, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have a 3W. Now the 3Ws know more than I do because they put the bomb together.
Right.
That's ammo. Ammo is actually putting this shit together. They measure out the gunpowder. They measure out the RDX. They put it in correct bomb casing. We didn't get it. We know how to wire it. We know how to fuse it, defuse it, all that other shit. Then you have like the 1W1s, which are, well, those are new. Those are nuclear guys. They're weird. Right. But like the 2W and the 3W. So the 3W's ammo. 2W is the guy that, hey, okay, we're going to wire this bomb up. We're going to put that fuse on it. We're going to make it a penetration bomb. We're going to load it on this A10 and get the fuck out of here. That's our job. So I understand it when they say, hey, we put like 200 pounds of RDX C4 or some shit in here and it's going to have a fragmentation of 200 feet. Like, okay, I understand what you're saying. But if you're asking me, who's the people that use the chemicals and mix it, precisely, that's going to be ammo. But because, I'm about to go through basically the same shit they go through, I'll be able to, understand it more. If that's what you're asking.
So no, I was kind of trying to differentiate between your FFL license and the parameters of what you conduct on your actual military job. Like, you were kind of talking about both of them. Yeah. No, so I load bombs on my military job. Now my government job, I'm the engineer to actually develop the shit. So saying, so your FFL, you got your military job and your government.
Yeah, so I'm a government.
Government you're a triple. Yeah. Oh, are you government contractor? Okay,
he's a contractor. Yeah.
So if you say General Dynamics.
Oh yeah, I used to work for them. Yeah, absolutely.
If you said, hey, I want to make a fucking invisible tank, you come talk to me. Then now I'm going to start sketching up the shit, and we're going to start moving on to product. In the military, you say you want to put this bomb onto that tank and have it shoot it off or something like that. I'm the guy that put it on it. FFL wise, the city, everybody just liked it because they were like, oh, okay, you actually developed this shit. Like, what were you going? So they couldn't tell me anything. Like, what were you going to tell me? It's literally saying, okay, well, the gun is going to kill somebody. Like, motherfucker, I make the gun. How is it going to kill somebody? It needs an operator. That's just how the conversation went. I'm not paraphrasing. It went like this. They were like, it's going to kill somebody. How, bitch?
Ain't that what it's supposed to do, though? It's supposed to kill somebody. Shit.
Like, and then I told him, I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, a car is supposed to kill somebody. Yeah. And it does that every other day.
Right. Hey, so I wanted to point that out, man. So I wanted to kind of break that down because as I was listening to the interview, Gunner Hookah, he knows what I'm talking about, man. We're both government guys. We've been military, in addition to FFL. You know what I'm saying? So we are, I would say, dynamic in that nature that we've held a lot of different titles. I worked with General Dynamics for about 5-6 years. So I'm pretty sure that's something else we'll have a very interesting discussion about. But obviously a different capacity. So what you're doing and what I did, obviously I work military intelligence and you're doing something totally different. So, but that's pretty dope, man. Just to hear the totality of and how old are you, by the way? If you mind my asking, man.
I am 34.
34,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
34. Wow. So I just wanted people to capture that, man. The success, the accomplishments, to get into that space that you're in from a government contracting standpoint, as well as military, which opened the doors, obviously, for you to get into that government contracting field. I just think it's dope, man. Just hearing your story. I mean, we all got some pretty dynamic stories. Just the three of us that's on this live. Gunner Hookah, he knows we go way back to a very hush hush military installation that we met at one of those hush hush military installations. So we all got some really dynamic stories that everybody we don't always decide to put out there, but it's pretty dynamic just hearing your story.
Yep.
I know Gunner Hookah's. He knows mine. We know our background. We know the secret squirrel stuff that we do. But to hear yours is pretty damn dynamic.
Which is another secret squirrel part, except you get to just blow stuff up.
Secret squirrel shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you get to tear shit up with his secret squirrel. But that's just pretty cool.
Hey, tell her we're in the skiff doing some other stuff that's leading him to where he's gonna blow some shit up.
Yeah. We're the guys that tell you where to go and you go there. It's It's crazy. This was I really enjoyed this conversation. I was looking forward to this joint when we had the first one on the other platform.
Right.
I knew we had to bring it here. It had to come here. It was wonderful that you came, man. You finally got to clarify that I wasn't bullshitting when you said that you bought your 6-year-old daughter a GM6 Lynx 50 BMG and she grouped with it. I wasn't bullshitting people.
No, he was not.
You know what I mean? So
again, I don't know. And it's funny that I even fell into the GM6. I actually know the CEO of the company.
For real?
Hey, hold up. In Hungary, right?
Yeah. Turkey.
They doing lefty versions? Are they doing lefty versions?
So his name is Sergio Sagil, and he's actually a really cool guy. When I told him, hey, I'm about to, open this firearm store in the city of Detroit, and I want to be a dealer, he was like, oh, that's great, man. How many firearm stores do you have in Detroit? I'm like, I'm the only one. I'm the only black one at that. He's like, why don't they have I thought y'all just had them all the way in the city, like they're all in the cities. And I was like, no, man, they're usually in the suburbs. He's like, oh, they're trying to keep the guns from you. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, we can do this. Nice. But he was really cool. He's a really nice guy. So I can actually hook you up with the guy. Hey,
I'm really glad you know him. I was literally trying to call the company when I was in Germany a couple weeks ago. I'm like, damn, I'm over here. I'm on their time frame, right? I'm like, let me reach out to him. I was trying to reach out to him with no success, and now here I am on the live
with somebody who can reach out to see.
Reach out and touch
somebody's AR, right?
Yeah,
explosive or. Damn it. But this is why I wanted to do this, right? Much respect, Prison and all his knowledge, all this with a short amount of time. You damn right.
Thank you.
Years of work that the young man has put in. This is why I want to do. This is one of my biggest reasons. I wanted to link y'all two together, right? This is because I was like, we got two very knowledgeable, business-minded people. One who's really growing in this game fast as a regular FFL, which I'm going to follow suit because I'm boarding on my 07 to get here as well.
Nice.
And then we got the catch-all FFL with us. And I knew, because I remember, it was funny, I was having a conversation with another gentleman, and he came on, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And the moment you open your mouth, Precision, Rob, the moment you open your mouth, I was like, oh, this brother knows some shit. Oh, hell yeah. Don't go nowhere.
A whole lot of shit.
Keep talking, right? And this is where egos don't come into play because there's always going to be somebody who knows a lot more than you, and it's a good time to learn. And the moment you open your mouth, I said, oh, yeah, this dude knows the shit. Let me fall back. I know some stuff in here and there, but I'm going to let him talk. I'm going to let him do his thing. And then here we are having this wonderful conversation, and I got two of very intelligent gentlemen on here collaborating. This was my goal here. Ultimately, this was my goal to have you two link up.
Disclaimer.
What's up?
Gun and Hookah, about a year and a half ago, who taught me what a FFL was?
I did.
Yeah, you taught me. So I just want to put that on there, put that out there. If you guys looking at me and thinking, oh man, Jay knows a lot, he has FFL Elite, I learned from Gun and Hookah about a year and a half ago. And everything that's derived from then is from conversations with Gun and Hookah, and it just took wings. So this brother taught me everything I know, man.
And this is the reason why Gun and Hookah knows as much, because I talk to people like Precision Strike.
Indeed.
And this is where I get my information from. Piece and piece. It's all about jewelry. It's all about getting pieces here, pieces there, and then doing your due diligence and your research, and then being able to share that with other people, because information is free, right? To a degree, especially with people that are really interested, that want to do this stuff. It's free, but the work that it takes to research it, if you ain't serious, get your bread up, right? So I definitely want to do this. I am so glad we come into our 2-hour period. We definitely got to do this again, Precision Strike.
Most definitely.
We got to do this again. There's a part 2 for this, because this is way.
Yeah, we'll do it from I'll do it from the shop next time.
Oh,
I didn't know about. I didn't, think that the class was going to be this long.
Oh no, you good, man. You good. You good. I'm glad you was able to make it, man. This is definitely my honor. I'm so glad you were able to make it. And This was perfect. Jay, I'm glad you came on here because part 2, I'm going to do an FFL panel, right? Because even though I don't have I'm a type 03 FFL, so I can be in the conversation. I'm on the bottom end of it. But and my 07 is on its way. But I definitely want to have like you. I want to have Jay. I want to have Billy. So I want to have the Seb 2 beasts, yourself, and maybe a couple other people who are FFLs and really dive and give a deep dive into this. And this may be, and we could do it in 2 hours, maybe 3, but it'll have to be like maybe on like a Friday, maybe even a Saturday where we know we got time to talk. Where anybody be nowhere.
If you want to, I'm more than happy to bring on like my lawyer.
Oh,
I will bring in because there's a couple of guys that want to go in with me.
Right.
At my job, so I can bring in like the the military legal people. They can tell you what why the ITARs, EARs, the SOTs actually mean shit to them.
Oh, absolutely.
So I can bring in people. They have no problem with that.
Yo, look, check this out. This is what we're gonna do because I'm gonna take a little time. It ain't gonna be nothing we're gonna do this Saturday, but we try next Saturday. If everybody's good next Saturday, we'll probably do it around about 7 p.m.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's
fine. Which will be on the 18th, the 25th of September. We'll shoot for that. Yeah, we'll keep in contact with you because I got your information. Yeah. I'll pass your information if it's okay on to Jay.
Yeah, give it to him. Okay.
All right, and then we could set this up, and we could do that on the 25th where we could really have a deep dive into the FFL process because Jay the Shooter also came up with FFL Elite. He's got a course that he developed to get people into becoming FFLs. Good. But this will be a really good deep dive to go even further, to even help him improve on his course if need be. To
I've heard a lot tonight.
I mean, on some real shit, if you're going for the Type 7, you want me to just help you all get the Type 10 and 11? I mean, it's really, if you already have an FFL, it's easier than mine. Because you ain't got to do that 6-month wait. Right. You're just bumping your FFL up. Now they probably they're gonna ask questions why. But we can do that. If if there's more catch-alls out there, then we can do more shit.
Right.
So like you wouldn't have to ask me the question like, hey, can I transfer this shit to you? Like, no, here. We got the same type. I don't have to ask questions. That'd be easier for me.
Yeah, we're definitely going. We going. Keep that information because we don't give all them everything. They could wait 2 weeks. They can wait 2 weeks because Gun in the Hook. Yeah, here I let y'all know. Gun in the Hookah. If y'all don't know by now, Gun in the Hookah is the shit. Just let y'all know right now. Just let y'all know this type of stuff I've been doing. This type of stuff that Jay the Shooter told me through 3 years ago. These are the conversations I've been having in these kind of spaces, right? Shout out to all my gun tubers that go live. RGG is my guy. I love Santee. Carby Q's on right now. I'm going to go over there next. But damn it, Gun the Hookah. Better watch out for me.
Hey.
I know some shit, and I know some people who know some shit. It's going to be, but it's all in love. It's all about education, right? It's all about entertainment. It's all about growing. So this ain't no competition, but just let y'all know who the king is. No, there's no competition. No, this has been a really good time. I appreciate everybody coming on. We're gonna cut this down because Carby Q has got her thing going. I want to get over there and catch some of that because she is awesome, and we need to support that sister to everything because she's in a class in her.
The glue of the community. She's the glue of the community, man.
She is definitely a glue because she brings everybody together, shows mass support. So once again, before we get out of here, can you guys give people where they can follow you? Start off with Jay first, because I'm gonna go ahead and let you go and then do a final word with Precision Strike. Jay, where can they follow you if they don't already know?
Indeed. YouTube, Self2 Jada Shooter. Instagram _Jada Shooter.
All right, brother, we'll talk. Definitely. I appreciate you coming on and having a good conversation. 25th of September, we're going to set this off with a nice panel of FFLs, lawyers, and we can get into legalities. We can really get into because there's stuff I want to know. I'm probably going to sit back. I may throw a question out there every now and again, but I'm just going to let y'all. We're just going to do some straight building of the minds and see what we can do here. Jay, I appreciate it. We'll chop it, brother. All right. Precision Strike. Any last words you got for the people before you give your information where they can follow you?
Man, first off, just, thanks for having me on here. This is my first interview doing this stuff. So,
man, I appreciate you being here. Definitely an honor for me, brother.
I mean, I ain't really got too much, like I said, I am a huge proponent of just ask a question, man. It costs nothing for me to ask, to give you an answer. I'm not going to bullshit y'all, you know what I'm saying? And, if you got any more questions on how to be an FFL, or if you just want to, buy some stuff, you got questions about, like ballistics or structural integrity and shit, just ask. I'll answer. I don't care.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. I definitely appreciate you coming on here and chopping it with me. But where can they follow you?
So I'm on all the platforms as Precision Strike 313, Twitter. I'm gonna have my Facebook up, but Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, Discord, I'm all on there. And like I said, you got any questions, let me know. And if you want a video chat, especially starting like in a couple more weeks, I'll probably be out at the site a lot more.
Nice.
We're gonna start breaking ground on shit. I think everything is level now for them to actually start breaking ground. They were just messing around with the foundation. So you'll actually start seeing a lot more, not only me out there, but you'll probably see a lot of firearm representatives. So you can, if you got questions about Glocks, I want to have a Glock guy come out here. You got questions about FNs and stuff.
Sweet.
Like, hey, we can just post up, and they definitely want to answer questions. Customer relations is their fucking key. So
right, and you, our brother, we definitely gonna do this. Definitely gonna be out there in January. We're gonna set this party off. This has been awesome. I couldn't and ask for a better way to set it off on YouTube live. Like I said, I've been doing this live stuff on other platforms for years, but to set it off on YouTube with a lot of really good people on this platform and to bring you as my number one person, brother, I couldn't ask for a better night. You made my night. Now I can go have me a drink while I watch Carbon Q do her thing. Check out Carbon Q. I sent the link. Is in the description and in the chat. So everybody go check out Carbon Q. Support her. Just support your YouTube people, man. We are really knowledgeable, and I appreciate it again, brother. And you have a good night. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this joint, and I'm gonna give a final word. But I appreciate it. We're gonna talk, man, because I definitely gonna get more information, and we can set up for next Saturday.
Okay, most definitely. Yeah, I'll start asking tomorrow then.
All right, brother. You be safe.
No problem. You be safe too, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Look, I appreciate it. Alonzo, appreciate Black Poindexter. R. Scott, just a few Black 239 Tactical. I appreciate it. All the people I missed, I appreciate y'all being on my live. This was a wonderful time. We went over our 2 hours, but that's okay. You can't rush greatness. You got to enjoy it and bask in it. So September 25th, you heard it here. September 25th is going to be around 7 p.m. Saturday night. You don't want to miss this one. This one's going to be fire. Once we get all the logistics done, I didn't want to rush it this week. That gives us time to get the logistics together. And it's going to be a bomb panel. I'm going to have Black Poindexter. We're going to have lawyers. We're going to have Seb too. Gun Hookah going to set it off up in this piece because I can talk this gun stuff, baby. RWG, once again, my guy, I appreciate you, man, coming on here and co-hosting with me and allow me to be a co-host on your platform. Brother, you definitely got to come back for the 25th. And chop it with your boy, even if it's just for a little while, because you always have a house here. But yeah, 25th September, I'm going to put out information as the time gets closer. Like I said, logistics and all that good stuff. Make sure everybody's got free time. We about to drop that jewelry on them, yo. That's all I got. I'm going to go ahead with Carbon Q. Y'all all head over there, chop it with her and show her support. Gun in the Hookah. Out.